talked about.
Well,
so
what about like, though, I guess where I'm trying to go first is the dating, like guys in general that maybe that you've dated in the past, or that like, have you found that guys, or that you've gone on dates and they don't understand romance? They don't.
Yeah. I mean, I think most men don't understand romance. And when you find a man that does,
Yeah.
like, you're like, oh, like he gets it. You know what I mean? And you can't really teach a man to be romantic, because I think one of the most romantic things that a guy can do is to do something for you, or like give something, or like something along those lines, give you something or do something for you that he noticed that you like.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
you do this.
Right.
And like, that means more than just like, don't get me wrong, like getting a woman flowers, or, you know, opening her car door. Those are all romantic things and they still matter.
Right.
But the ultimate romantic thing that a man can do is to do something for a woman that she didn't necessarily ask for. It's not like a generic thing. It's that like, oh, you noticed. Okay, I'll give an example because you've done plenty of things and I appreciate your romantic, like you're the most romantic man that I've ever met, and I'm a very lucky woman. But I used to watch these TikTok videos of this lady who makes these octopus jars. And like, you surprised me with an octopus jar, and I got to like pick out my own thing. Or like, there's plenty of other things that you just notice about me.
Right.
That I'm like just doing, or like in my everyday life or our lives together. And then you like surprise me with something like that, or, you know, or you take me somewhere that you heard me talking about that I wanted to try, or something like that. And that's the most romantic thing, because it's not even necessarily about the thing that makes it romantic. It's about you caring enough to pay attention to her. Because a lot of women don't feel like men really pay attention to them.
Right.
You know? And that shows her. Like I said, it's not necessarily about the thing.
Right.
It's about that you, without being told, like paid attention and listened and made a mental note. And then did the thing in some sort of way. Or like tried to do something to show her that you paid attention to that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And that's why it's such a big deal when guys forget anniversary, birthday, dates like that, is because it's the opposite of showing that you paid it. It's not paying attention, because women get pretty upset about that, and guys many times miss the dates and you know, the classic forgetting the anniversary, you know, something like that. But the way that I think, you know, what you just said, but the way I define romance is really thoughtfulness, like being thoughtful about the other person. That's why it also applies to men as well, right? But I mean, we'll talk about it in the context of men being romantic to women, but the real idea behind it is thinking about that other person, anticipating their needs. Like, you know, that's why it's like, it's not automatically romantic to buy flowers. If she's allergic to flowers, for instance, it would become an unromantic, like it's actually an unthoughtful thing, because you didn't pay attention to this fact and it was not something that she wanted, right? Or if she just doesn't like flowers. Or
buy her favorite flower. You know, if she has a favorite flower.
Exactly, yeah. But it's because it is romantic if it's something that you're doing because you know that that's something that she's going to like. You know, the same thing with getting a gift. You know, it's not just, I bought an expensive gift. I got you a new computer. Like,
well,
but it's like, you know.
Throw something in there that I struggle with. I know women struggle with. That's the Christmas stocking.
Oh, yeah.
The wife's Christmas stocking. And like, when I was with my boyfriend that cheated on me a long time ago, he was the type of guy who didn't put anything in my stocking. I put all the stuff in his stocking. Like, we were young, but I was like, what the heck? And then I was like, I had to tell you to do it. Like, that just seems weird. And we'll go more into this in this episode, because it is important to talk about, like, you do have to communicate your needs, but there are some things too that are just seem pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Unless you guys talked about it and you're like, we're not going to put anything in each other's stocking. Sure. Nobody puts things in the stocking or whatever. Or if you do it, it's because you wanted to just go out your way and do it. But like, there are countless dads out there who'd never put anything in their wife's stocking.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
You are not one of those men. And you are so sweet for, thinking about me. And you put things that, I like, again, very thoughtful things into my stocking. So it's like, there are tons of men who don't even think about that sort of thing, let alone like taking their woman out on a date or their wife out on a date and making that special, because I feel like those sort of guys too, in my mind, probably don't even make the date very romantic. They're like, well, I took you on a date. Right. That's the romance. It stops there, know? And it's like, it's hard to believe that a man who puts nothing in a woman's stocking is doing anything else like thoughtful for her, if that makes sense. Because it's a little thing, but it also shows that you're not thinking about her. And then it makes me feel like, well, when else are you not thinking about her sort of thing?
Well, let's talk about the dating side of it, because I think that's good, because where does it start? Because most people, when they think of romance, they think about love, they think about sex, they think about that type of thing, not filling a stocking. But I mean, filling a stocking is actually a big... Better than